Good morning, fan club. Fan club of five. Well, it's Sunday morning, and I've awoken to finish the basic structure of this task at hand. I have a very complicated thing to do today. Not like yesterday. Yesterday wasn't super complicated. It was about just building a big structure, and that's built. That's done. The task today is trying to get angles right and the right boards in the right place and have the right supports. And I'm going to have to actually go buy a special tool just to get the angles right. It's called I forgot what it's called. An angle finder, I think that's what it's called. Anyway, at Home Depot, I've got to go and get some more supplies anyway, so I might as well get the tool. Let me show you, kind of give you an idea. It's complicated, and I know I'm not going to explain it right, but I'll try to briefly go over it. All right, what we have here, as you can see, that's my tape from the plastic that I put on the walls. I have unusual angles. This is the nose of the trailer. Let me show you. See, this is the nose of the trailer. This is what allows the wind to go around the trailer better, so it makes it more aerodynamic. And so that nose, though, it makes my job more complicated. What I am trying to do is I've got to build a desk and a storage area. The storage area will be storing supplies, loose supplies, paper towels, toilet paper, stuff like that. Any kind of maybe cleaning supplies or whatnot that are just extra stuff, not stuff that I use every day. So this area needs to be walled off, so that stuff can be prevented from falling out when I'm riding around. Sometimes you buy that stuff in bulk. You buy, a big package of toilet paper or a big package of paper towels, stuff like that, and you need somewhere to put it. But you don't want it to be in your way, and it's not something that's there all the time. As it gets used up, it takes up less space. So, anyway, my original plan was to take this area right here around this corner and make that my desk, and this up here my storage area. The storage area would be the height of the bed, and then the desk would be down, where desk height would be. But that's not a big enough area. And for the desk. Storage area I could have survived with, but the desk area, no, it's not going to be big enough. So here's the dilemma. So I decided to make the desk area actually extend out away from the bed area, and it's going to go all the way to the wall. This is the entry to the trailer. It's going to go all the way to this wall right here, and if you will notice, there's a screw right there. Well, these down here is better. There's a screw right there, and then there's another screw, and then there's another screw. These screws are on the vertical studs for the trailer. So those are important because those anchor things to the trailer. So I've decided that I'm going to have the front of the desk come to this stud. I don't want it to come all the way out here. That just takes up too much room. Having those extra few inches right here could make all the difference in the world. So I'm going to make this the front of the desk. Now, it may seem random, but it's not really random. It's based on where the studs are located. That way I can anchor it down better. I don't have to. I could put a leg there and then have a board to extend out and have this desk go in farther. But when I look at it, it seems like the space between here and here is a good space for a desk, amount of space for a desk. So I'm thinking that that's a good thing. But also these bolts are about the right height of where I want to put the desk. I'm estimating about 32 inches. So I don't know. I may rethink that. I may go a little bit lower. A lot of your desk height depends on the height of the chairs, and I'm using this folding chair right now, and it's a little bit lower to the ground. So if I ever wanted a bigger chair, if I make it too low, then obviously a bigger chair wouldn't go up under it, and that would be a problem. But what I may do too is I may run to like an office store or whatever, check out some chairs and take my tape measure and see if I can't come up with a more accurate or a better height, or maybe measure some desks and see what the normal height for a desk is. So anyway, that's the plan. Here's the problem. Is this space all the space I want to use? I do still have the space at the nose right here. So what I'm thinking of doing is taking it back just a little bit farther, give myself a little bit more of a desk, and taking it back. Now I could take it straight on back here. This is the leg for the bed. I could take it straight on back to the wall, and that's a possibility, but I don't like that sharp angle. See, you have an angle that goes back like this, and then it comes in. It's a sharp angle, very, very acute angle. I don't like that. I would rather if it kind of went back a little bit and then cut over and then angled back. See, that seems better to me. So what I'm thinking is, here's a screw right here. This is a stud. So what I'm thinking about, putting a leg here and having it go straight over like this, and leave that corner open behind there. Having it go straight over here and then come back over here like this. Or I could go with this stud, right? So here's the corner. I could go with this stud and have it go straight over, make a right angle, and then come back here. Those are my two options that I can see, just to have a little bit extra extension and to add some dimension to the desk itself. Because the back of the desk is going to have a wall around it. So it's going to, a piece of plywood is going to come up actually all the way from the floor to right up here where the shelf level is going to be. And so it's going to be like a little alcove, and there'll be a plywood coming along this wall here too. So it'll be like a cubby hole, like sometimes you find in libraries where they have their little cubby hole areas, public libraries or college libraries or something like that, where they have their little workstations and they're like a little cubby hole. They have a light inside sometimes and a desk, and they have walls around it, and that way it creates that. But that's also to help to where I can put something over the front of it to keep things from sliding off the desk, because I'll have walls all the way around it and I just have to worry about the front. Alright, so that's the whole purpose of having the walls. Alright, so and here's the other question, is the storage area. The storage area for the supplies, I could have it just come to right up here, but I think since I have the desk here, I think what I'm going to do is have it come all the way across to this wall. That way, this area up here will be the entrance to the storage area, and it will actually go around this corner. This wall, this right here at the end of the bed, there's going to be a plywood here. This is where my TV is going to go, on the bed side. Alright, so I've got to find a TV that will fit on that wall, and it's going to mount to that wall. And I'll put 2x4s behind it to make it strong, so that it'll have a good strong place to mount. Alright, so my TV is going to mount there, so I'll have all this area right here walled in. And I don't know if you can see all that with my hand there and all that. So that area will be walled in. So you'll need an entryway to go. The stuff will be stuffed back there, and that way I can just put a board up right here or something right here to prevent things from sliding off, and I'll have this whole nose area for supplies, which is a lot bigger than you might think, especially if you can stack stuff. So that's the plan right now. The hard part is cutting the angles and the boards and stuff like that. So I've got to run boards up along the back side of here. I'm going to put a 2x4 up along here, and I've got one over there so that this plywood wall is going to have something to screw into. It's got to have 2 studs to screw into so that we can make a square or rectangle wall for the TV to mount to. So I've got to get everything in the right place, and then I have to cut the board. The plywood has to be cut with the angles. That's where the angle finder tool comes into play, so that I know how to cut angles on the plywood, so that I've got everything cut on the right, because there's a lot of angles that have to be done. Complicated. And that should give you sort of an overall picture of what kind of nightmare I'm dealing with. Nightmare for me, because I don't do this every day. I am not a carpenter. I can do this stuff, but I don't do it every day. I don't know the best way to do it. The shortcuts, I don't know. And even the right wood to use. But I'm sticking with plywood and 2x4s, because that's what I know. Plywood and 2x4s. It's what I'm comfortable with. And I'm not looking to build, as you can see with the bed build, it's all 2x4s and plywood. I'm not looking to build the kind of furniture that you would have in a house, to where it looks nice and neat and very concise. This is not like that. This is sort of a rough cut in. It's unplanned. The plan is all in my head. There's no blueprint. And I am making this stuff up as I go. So I don't really have all the measurements worked out. Some of it's based on where things are located and what I can figure out how to do. And, so since we're dealing with a complete amateur here, who knows a few things, and has a little bit of experience with working with this kind of wood. But other than that, complete amateur, completely ignorant of the best way to do all this. So I am making this stuff up as I go, and I'm kind of trying to, it's all based off of an idea that's in my head that I'm trying to bring to life, and that's the whole thing. Oh, you see that insulation on the ceiling? I still have to finish the ceiling, by the way, which I have the screws for it now. I just haven't. I'm more interested in getting this structure built than I am getting the ceiling built. But I'll finish the ceiling whenever I get the structure finished. Also, one last, somewhere here I have to build a ladder. My plan was to build a ladder right here. Maybe use this right here as the left side of the ladder, and then put another one about right here or so. The problem is, with the desk coming all the way over, I need to have it open enough to where I can get inside it, to where it's not like a super tight fit. I already have to bend over, but trying to bend over and turn sideways to fit inside there, that's not going to be good. The ladder doesn't have to be really big, but I don't want to be, I don't want it to be dangerous either. So, anyway, I'll figure out. The ladder will be the last thing. I'll see how much space I have to work with, so I can see how wide I can make the ladder and what's comfortable and what works for me. So, but the ladder's going to be done too. But the ladder's nothing. It's just a long 2x4 and some short 2x4s, and I may put a piece of plywood behind it, or I may not. So Anyway, you see all my trash from last night, cleaning and that using toilet paper and paper towels, and it was stuff everywhere. So I picked up all that trash and put it on that tray there. My food tray. It's all in the trash. So there you have it. Well, also last night, or about 5 o'clock this morning, I had a problem. My generator, I noticed that, well, my power station, all the power shut off, which means that the power got too low. The battery got too low in charge. So, and then, but I have a generator that's supposed to automatically turn on, and it didn't. So as soon as the power shut off, I knew it was a generator, not the power station. This problem, because the generator didn't come on when it was supposed to. So I had to get up. It's like 5 o'clock in the morning, so it was still pretty dark. I mean, it's still really dark. The sun hadn't come up at all. So I had to get up 5 o'clock in the morning, get some clothes on, and run outside and figure out what's wrong with the generator, or at least try to turn it on. So I tried to turn it on and thought my first clue was, well, maybe it's out of fuel. So I decided to fill it up with fuel first before I even tried to turn it on. So I filled it up with gas, and the whole time I've got all these little tiny moths flying everywhere, all over me. So annoying. There were a million moths, it seemed like. Well, probably not a million, probably like 100, which is freaking nightmare. All right, so I got all these moths flying all over me, and they're bugging me. They're all in my arms and legs, and they're like all over the gas, and I don't even know how many of them went inside the tank. I don't know. So I filled it up because I got a flashlight. They're hovering around the light. That's what they are. And I have a flashlight sitting there so I can see where I'm pouring the gas and see when it gets full, which I overfilled it. So I had to clean that up too, because of the moths distracting me. Anyway, so I got that full, and then I tried to crank it and it wouldn't crank. And I kept trying and kept trying and kept trying and kept trying. So then I went back to my phone and noticed on the phone it said low oil warning on the app. So I knew the problem. I had checked the oil a few days ago, and it was a little low, but it had oil in it. So turns out that my generator has a low oil light, or a low oil warning that comes off when the oil gets too low. The generator automatically shuts down, which is a good feature, so you don't blow the engine. So it automatically shuts off, and that's what it did. So I put oil in it, and the tank is tiny oil, and so I put way too much oil in it. I had so much oil in it, it was flowing out the thing, because the nozzle is sitting at an angle, and or the hole where the oil stick goes is sitting at an angle, really steep angle, and if you put too much oil in it, it just starts flowing out the hole. And I put way too much in it, so I had to pour some of the oil out till I got the level down to where it was on the full level on the stick. So I did that, and after I cleaned my mess up, it cranked. Right, so the low oil levels light eventually went off, and it's all good. It cranked up, and I went back to bed. But I haven't really been asleep since then. So I've been up thinking and planning and stuff like that. So there you have it. One of the hassles of living out here in the wild. Now I can't wait to get solar panels, and I'm probably going to have to get another power station. I could get an extra battery, but I think actually an extra power station, they're roughly almost the same price as the extra battery. So if the extra battery is $100 cheaper, I'd get the extra battery. But they're only like 20 bucks apart. So why get an extra battery when you can get a power station that has the same size battery as the extra battery, and it has outlets, and I can hook 500 watts of solar panels into it, which you can't do with the battery. So that will give me 500 watts for one power station and 500 watts for the other power station. That's 1,000 watts of solar power that I could be using to charge this thing, which is completely awesome. Because with that extra battery, even with what I'm using now, if I wasn't running the air conditioner, my battery power station would probably last all night. But I have to run the air conditioner, and it eats up sometimes 400 watts of power an hour, and the power station only holds 1,000. So after about 2.5 hours, it runs dry, and that's just that. I probably run 100 and something watts off the other stuff, fans and things I may be charging or whatever. So, but all that comes up to less than 200 watts. The air conditioner, when it's running, it might be running pushing 400 watts of power, and sometimes, well, in the middle of the day, sometimes like 500. But so that's where all my power is going. It's in the air conditioner. If I wasn't running the air conditioner, probably wouldn't even need anything else, but I do. So and if I was running a heater, I'd probably need twice that much. Because heat takes a lot. So there you have it. I need solar panels, and I'll probably get another power station, but that's not anytime soon. Well, the solar panels I may start getting, like I might start with 2 solar panels and get them started just to have some kind of solar panel. But this power station will allow me up to 500 watts of solar panels, which I'll get 5 100-watt solar panels, and then it will, the next power station I can get 500 with it. So, and I think I can get 10 solar panels on this roof. Pretty sure. We'll see. But I kind of did a rough measurement in my head, and I think they'll all fit. They're only like 2 foot by 3 foot solar panels, and I have quite a bit of space up there. Anyway, so yeah, I'm pretty sure I could get 1,000 watts up there, and I'll just run 2 separate lines, 2 separate cords from those solar panels down, and 1 cord for each power station. And I think I can even link the power stations. To be honest, I think I can buy a cord that will that hooks into the back of the power stations, and that actually links them together, so I could use the power at the same time. I think. Like, I can use the second power station as like an extra battery, I think, because they're both EcoFlow. Anyway, I'm going to let you go now, because I've got to get to Home Depot and buy supplies. So I'll do a video at the end of the day to show you my mess. No, to show you what I've done and completed, and I'm sure everything will go fine. I just have to get to work and do it. It's going to be another hot one, I see, and so I want to get on it while it's probably going to be hot within an hour. And I'll give you an update. All right, until then, sayonara.